Rainy days don't seem so wet. Stormy nights don't stay. From the moment that we met, you were worth the wait. Oh, this could be the best thing that I'll ever know. Talk for hours and never slept. Two silhouettes on the concrete steps. We watched the sun as it slowly crept from the horizon to the place we met. Oh, this could be the best thing that I'll ever know.
Welcome, everyone, to the 10th annual Bob Childers Gypsy Cafe, live from the farm. This entire event came to be from a meeting here 10 years ago. And for 10 years, we've been putting together a festival of songwriters. And while we can't all be together, we're super excited that you're here and joining us tonight so that we can celebrate the craft of songwriting in Oklahoma. And there's really no better way to do that than with our winner of the Jimmy LaFave Songwriting Contest. 4 years ago, we started the contest after we lost our dear friend Jimmy LaFave to try to inspire young people and emerging songwriters to find their craft and hopefully launch a career out of Stillwater just like he did. And this year, out of almost 70 entries, our grand prize winner and People's Choice winner is Anna Jennings with her song, Hope and Gasoline.
I just wanted to say that it's an honor to be here with all these great musicians. It's crazy. This is my song, Hope and Gasoline. Headed for Dallas on a Greyhound bus, 65 past one more town. Fell asleep, dreamed I was Miss Texas Prison Rodeo. Hit a bump, I woke up, my crown was gone. And I'm running on hope and gasoline. Won't get me very far. My faith is gone, it's faded with the sun. I don't think that I can make another run. Met a lady by the name of Mary Jane. Taught me how to ease my pain. She up and left, and now I'm right back where I started, finding wrong answers and going nowhere. And I'm running on hope and gasoline. Won't get me very far. My faith is gone, it's faded with the sun. I don't think that I can make another run. And I'm running on hope and gasoline. Won't get me very far. My faith is gone, it's faded with the sun. I don't think that I can make another run. I don't think that I can make another run. I don't think that I can make another run. Thank you.
How's it going? A little rainy, eh? I got a umbrella over there. Y'all can fight each other for it. So I'm Tequila Kim. This is my favorite guitar player in the whole wide world. And man, Thomas Trapp. So excited to get to be here at the Gypsy Cafe again. And we're gonna start with this song. It's about the journey, not the destination. So if you ain't taking the long way around, then who knows what you're missing. Done some leaving, thought I'd done some taking. Thought I found the meaning, believe I was mistaken. I've learned some life the hard way. Growing up and always fading in the light of a new day. But in this very moment, all we've got is now. Everything we've ever wanted is all we're gonna get somehow. Just know this, with every kiss I will love you. Just know this, with every kiss I will love you. No clouds above me, nothing but blue skies. Just sitting on the edge impatiently, watching my whole life go by. Always knew my destiny, I was meant to have it. But if I could reach out far enough, I'm pretty sure I'd grab it. It's all the same to me. Growing garden love and now still feels like falling free. But in this very moment, all we've got is now. And everything we've ever wanted is all we get somehow. Just know this, with every kiss I will love you. Just know this, with every breath I will love you. I can never tell y'all just how you saved me. I was sitting in the ashes of the aftermath till all your love remade me whole again, better than I've ever been. For all I've lost in blood, I found twofold in my new friends, and it all came to me so naturally. His eye is on the sparrow, he's watching over me. But in this very moment, all we've got is now. Everything we've ever wanted is all we get somehow. Just know this, with every kiss I will love you. just know this, with every breath I will love you. Just know this, with every kiss I will love you.
Jim Paul Blair was born in Odessa, Texas, April 16, 1961. He always bragged he was a native Texan, but he was an Okie through and through. After graduating from Clayton High School, he received a T. Boone Pickens scholarship and became a cowboy at Oklahoma State University. Jim studied accounting by day, but could be found making music with his friends every time he had the chance. While at OSU, Jim was a member of Student Entertainers, alongside his sister Karen and some guy named Garth Brooks. He graduated with an accounting degree in 1984 while playing bluegrass with the Red Valley Barnstormers. Jim began his career straight out of college, likely the only banjo-picking accountant at Price Waterhouse in Oklahoma City. Just as talented in the boardroom, Jim was made the CFO of the Rehab Group in Nashville only a few years later at the young age of 28. The music continued while he lived in Nashville. He was an original member of the Neverly Brothers and the Neverly Hillbillies, and when he moved back to Oklahoma in 1998, he wasted no time. Jim quickly became one of the most enthusiastic Okies from Muskogee. Whether he was negotiating a hospital contract, touring Europe with City Moon, running the Oklahoma Music Hall of Fame, performing as Hank Williams or Buddy Holly, or leading the Muskogee Medical Authority and Foundation, Jim's body of work, music, and philanthropy overlapped in ways that changed his community for the better. His two albums, Fresh Off the Strings in 2003 and 2021's Legacy, stand as testaments to Jim's excellent musical abilities. Jim loved his girls. Even while he was living his dream, he always encouraged his daughters to follow theirs. And he never minded footing the bill to make it happen. He was a beloved grandbubby to 3 grandsons with whom he shared a love of music and baseball. Jim loved his mother. He was so proud of her musical career and talent that surely paved the way for his. He loved his brother and 2 sisters, perhaps the first band as they grew up together singing and strumming. Jim loved his wife. He enjoyed dropping everything and traveling on a whim with Katie. No plan was needed when he had his love and best friend by his side. In his last days, Jim was held up in prayer by a host of friends far and near, none of whom can yet understand why his time here was so short. Jim packed much life and adventure into his 58 years, and wherever he went, laughter, joy, and music followed. Jim entered eternity February 11th, 2020, surrounded by the family he loved so much. And in 2021, for his outstanding contributions to the music world in Oklahoma and beyond, the Gypsy Cafe presents Jim Paul Blair with the Restless Spirit Award.
Every year we, as a Red Dirt Relief Fund, we provide and present a Restless Spirit Award for someone in the music industry in Oklahoma who has really just represented and, what am I trying to say? Sorry. Just has the spirit that Bob Childers established and continues to go and live on. And I'm just so grateful to have known the recipient this year. And Jim Paul Blair is everybody's friend, and we all loved him. And it was just such a pleasure to have him around me as I grew up as a kid. My mom and dad, Kenny and Cindy Parks, were good friends of Jim Paul Blair, and so I always looked up to him when I was growing up. Of course, when I grew up, he was still taller than me, but it was just such a great relationship, and he was actually in my band Steel Wind and played banjo and was on our album F5, and just going through that recording experience with him, it was amazing to that he could say, hey, do you want this lick more like Bela Fleck, or do you want it more like Scruggs, or like so it was just, he's such a versatile and talented musician, and so it's just been an honor to have him on the recordings and to have him be a music friend of mine. And also just all of his involvement in the community is just such an admirable. It's just so admirable to me. And one thing that I like to do in addition to play music is to help others and to try and do all that I can in the organizations, in the community, and anything else that I can do, and above just being a musician. And so that's what Jim was doing too. And I always admired him about how he had an amazing music career, and he had connections everywhere and wasn't afraid to help people out and make connections for them too. And I just love that energy, and I love all of those things that he helped install in me, and I just want to help continue that. And I'm just so grateful to know Jim Paul Blair. And tonight, got Katie here to accept the award on his behalf, and so thank you, Katie, so much for being here tonight.
Well, it is my pleasure to be here. Thank you so much. I am Katie Blair. I was Jim's wife, and I just want to tell a quick story about the first time that I ever came here. Jim brought me here in 2017, and it was the year that Jimmy LaFave received this award. And I always said, I was on country music radio for a while, and I always slipped in, and it was top 40. We weren't supposed to play Jimmy LaFave, but I always kind of slipped him in there because he was my favorite. And so whenever Jim said, we are coming out, we're going to the farm, we're going to Stillwater, we're going to Eskimo Joe's, I've got this gig I've got to do, come with me. I said, okay. So off we went, and we showed up over at the stables, and we played over there. George Stable, correct me if I'm wrong. I know I met Tequila Kim there, and I met a lot of you that night. I met you two. And it was just such an instant camaraderie. It was so beautiful. I was so, I've been around musicians before, and nothing like this. It was like I described it to you just a minute ago. It was a crackle. Like, I showed up out here, and I was like, oh my gosh, I've heard about this place, and I've never been included because I'm not a musician, but I was Jim's girl. So I was automatically involved. And everybody was so, there was no judgment. There was no, oh, you shouldn't be here or anything like that. I was on his coattails, and I rode like a magic carpet. It was beautiful. And I was so happy to be here, and I'm so happy to be here tonight. I know that he deserved this award. He was my man, and I loved him so much. And he is up there with the guardians of the dead right now, and they are all looking down and smiling. And Jimmy LaFave, I love you. You're my favorite. Thank you so much.
for reasons that don't matter. I was walking down the alley and I heard the music coming from the screen. And without really thinking, I walked up to the window to a scene that reminds me of a dream. She was standing in the kitchen with her face turned towards the ceiling. Her eyes were closed, but still they held the light. And from a battered guitar come a sound of angels weeping for all those restless spirits in the night. I don't know how long I stood there. It seemed like many lifetimes. I felt my load up and drift away. And walking down the aisle, I was feeling so much better. I knew that I could face another day. She was standing in the kitchen with her face turned towards the ceiling. Her eyes were closed, but still they held the light. And from a battered guitar come a sound of angels weeping for all those restless spirits in the night. She was standing in the kitchen with her face turned towards the ceiling. Her eyes were closed, but still they held the light. And from a battered guitar come a sound of angels weeping for all those restless spirits in the night. She was standing in the kitchen with her face turned towards the ceiling. Her eyes were closed, but still they held the light. And from a battered guitar come a sound of angels weeping for all those restless spirits in the night. For all those restless spirits, all those restless spirits, all those restless spirits in the night. Thank you, Monica. Thank you, Coop. That's my absolute favorite song. Love you guys so much. Thanks for having me out again.
Things get big, things get broke, things get rough, that ain't no joke. Sometimes it falls back in line when you let your love light shine. I've seen some of what you've been through. I'd say you've got reasons to be blue, but I know that you'll be just fine when you let your love light shine. You came to me on a cold dark night, brought me warmth and you brought me light. The wonders of this world were mine when you let your love light shine. Travis? Love's got lessons that I ain't learned. I feel like trying more time when you let your love light shine. Other lovers came and went, left me empty, left me spin, but with you there's some peace of mind when you let your love light shine. John? When you smile and you take my hand, makes me feel like a lucky man. You don't need whiskey, don't need wine when you let your love light shine. When you let your love light shine.
Oh, Huckleberry sounds pretty good over there.
Huckleberry, don't forget about the days. Don't forget about the nights. Don't forget about the shots we took in the dark and the walks in the light. Don't forget about the highs. Don't forget about those lows. Don't forget about the secrets we shared, the things that no one else knows. Well, I'll always remember the first time you kissed me. Guess I just want you to miss me every now and then. But I'll be around if you ever change your mind. No, I'm not that hard to find, and this town ain't that big. Remember the first time you kissed me. Guess I just want you to miss me every now and then. But I'll be around if you ever change your mind. No, I'm not that hard to find, and this town ain't that big. Don't forget about the days. Don't forget about the songs, 'cause that's exactly how we fell in love, and love's where we belong. Oh, that's exactly how we fell in Tom Skinner wrote that song.
Now Crystal, she's a rambling girl. She would not be tied down. But still I fell in love with her. She come a-passing through my town, a-passing through my town. Now Crystal, she's a rambling girl. Now Crystal come from Alabama, no banjo on her knee. She could smile bigger than Texas and sing better than Tennessee. Now Texas and Tennessee. Now Crystal, she's a rambling girl. The wind would blow and she'd spread her wings, and off she goes chasing after dreams, leaving me to fill my days with lesser things, things like words and melody. Wind would blow and she'd spread her wings, and off she goes chasing after dreams, leaving me to fill my days with lesser things, things like words and melody. So when I go about my business and I'm in my daily grind, I keep a one eye off in the distance. You know she might come back sometime. She might come back sometime. Now Crystal, she's a rambling girl. She'll come a-rambling down the line. Now Crystal, she's a rambling girl. On now. Tom Skinner, ladies and gentlemen.
Jacob Tovar.
Nice, man. Thank you, John. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Sunny day to rain, it will take away my pain. It ain't me, yes, it must be old silent E. It will turn a pin into a pine. It happens all the time, can't you see? Say nothing, silent me. Oh, please believe now, you belong with me now. Oh, please believe now, turn my whole life around. Pick me up and put me down. It ain't me. Guess it must be on silent E. Who can turn a pen into a pine? It happens all the time, can't you see? Baby, like, say nothing silent to me. Oh, please believe you belong with me. Oh, please believe now. You never seem to asking me why. You never give me any reason to try. You say you someday wanna get with me. I tell you, baby, it all happens eventually. Turn my sunny day to rain. Who can take away my pain? It ain't me. I guess it must be on silent E. Who turned a tub into a tube? Sounds crazy, but it's true. Can't you see, baby? Like, say nothing silent. Oh, please believe now. You belong with me now. Oh, please believe now. You belong with me now. Oh, please believe now. You belong with me. Every time my sunny day don't rain, take away my pain. See, it's instead of. There goes. Saturday morning and I'm just waking up. Last night by the riverside was a little too rough. Dreaming all about you. I don't think I'll be able to see you in a while, it's true. Told me that you loved me and I said it was true. I said I didn't want no one if I could not have you. We was looking at constellations high in the sky, but the only stars I remember are the stars I see in your eyes. Saturday afternoon, we can do it all again. I'm knocking at your door, but your daddy won't let me in. Going out with a windmill spin. Out for one more night, all again. And I told you that I loved you. You said it was true. I don't want nobody if I could not have you. We was looking at constellations high in the sky, but the only stars I see are the stars I see in your eyes. We could go out where the windmills spin. Watch those red lights and count them till the morning comes in. You and I see you grinning. Stand out in the wind and we can be spinning, 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 spinning. Saturday evening, I'm all alone. Mama won't let me call you on the phone. I know where I go. Probably find a rock, aim right at your window. You told you that I loved you, said it was true. I said I didn't want no one if I could not have you. We're staring at constellations high in the sky. The only stars I see are the stars I see in your eyes. Stars in your eyes. And we were spinning, 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 you and I. Spinning, 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 you and I. Spinning, 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 you and I. Now I'm spinning, still my mind. And then it goes directly into Poncho. Poncho, 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 Poncho. Yay, yay.
Getting to spend time with the people in the 90 minutes on stage every night is what you do the whole thing for. That's the high that you can never recreate.
Losers use and losers lose the thrones that they get buried on.
You play moments that you can't ever recreate in front of people that get to see it for the one time that it ever happens in this world. And that's something cool about that I've always loved.
There is no barrel in my mouth. We're going back this time. Everything's fine. Everything is fine. Everything is fine.
Man, it feels so good to just be like out and about and playing in front of at least some people I don't know well. So it's good to see all the few faces out here and you guys too. I just got back from Arkansas. I've been working on a record, so keep up with that. I'm pretty excited to be releasing new stuff. I haven't released a record in about a year and a half, so that's new. This first song is going to be on that record. It's called Joan. It's about Bob Dylan and Joan Baez.
Flowers grow and they wither away just like I knew we would. Times like these I can hardly speak about how I feel because Joan cries alone tonight. Joan cries alone tonight. Joan leather skin, dotted with sunlight. I haven't seen your face in a while, because Joan cries alone tonight. Joan cries alone tonight. Joan cries alone tonight. Joan cries alone tonight. Tape delay on a summer day. I'm just staring at the pictures on the wall. Blank face, nothing great to say. I'm the villain in my own story after all. Oh, because Joan cries alone tonight. Joan cries alone tonight. Joan cries alone tonight. Joan cries alone tonight.
Thanks, guys, so much.
I crossed the Rocky Mountain when the snow was white and high. I watched the eagles flying far below. I crossed to the Diamond Desert with the big eye in the sky. That's when I went walking Woody's Road. Down the Back Street, by the rivers, from the borders to the shores, out to the edge where everything explodes. Finding a reason for believing in the people of this land. That's why I went walking Woody's Road. Woody's Road was rough and rocky. Woody's Road was everywhere. Everywhere's where he felt most at home. Just a rambling friend of man, reaching out his hand. That's why I went walking Woody's Road.
hopeless, the frightened and the frail, all them folks that no one wants to know. Well, the restless, desperate, destitute, that was the company he chose. That's when I went walking Woody's Road. Woody's Road was rough and rocky. Woody's Road was everywhere. Everywhere's where he felt most at home. He's just a rambling friend of man, reaching out his hand. That's why I went walking Woody's Road. Mike McClure.
the frozen heart of darkness to the burning light inside. Somehow we got to learn just to let it flow. Down that rattling track to glory, where all true believers go.
That's when I went a walking Woody's Road.
Let's all sing it.
Woody's Road,
was rough and rocky.
Woody's Road
was everywhere.
Everywhere's where he felt most at home. Just a rambling friend of mine, reaching out his hand. That's when I went a walking Woody's Road. That's when I went a walking Woody's Road. That's when I went walking Woody's Road.
Woody's Road.
Thank y'all very much. We're the Red Dirt Rangers and we love you.
Thank you very
Thank you.
much.
It's good to be back here again. Well, I am just a poor boy. I don't have a dollar to my name. But I got this love inside, and it don't need no blame. Hey, I know your wicked ways, 'cause I have been down there too. And you don't need to point your fingers at me, 'cause I won't point mine at you. 'Cause it's the trials, tribulations, and all the awkward situations that just living brings. And it's the trying and believing they'll be flying after grieving. Oh, and in the end, you still gotta earn your own wings. I got a good old soul. It's just got a few dings. I've been trying to lighten up. Whoops, screwed it off. I found the judgment, it does nothing. It puts a weight on me. Don't judge me. I'd rather walk upon the water than go sinking like a stone into your sea. So I've been trying to lighten up and leave all that behind. I ain't found nothing worth much more to me than my peace of mind. It's just the trials and tribulations, and all these awkward situations that the living brings. And it's the trying and believing that we'll be flying after grieving. Oh, and in the end, you still gotta earn your own wings. I got a good old soul. It's just got a few dings. I got a good old soul. It's just got a few dings. All right, thank you.
Hey everybody, aren't you glad to be out here at the 10th annual Bob Childers Gypsy Cafe event at the farm? It's so great to be here and it's great to see you all. And we're right here in this beautiful structure. This thing has a lot of history to it. Bob moved out here in the early 90s and lived in a trailer behind the Gypsy Cafe, or this was just an outbuilding. And he decided that he needed a jam space. So he renovated it with several friends, made a space for music and musicians to be. And it became kind of a place for everybody to gather. Sunday was the big day here at Gypsy Cafe because all the musicians would have been playing all weekend, And Sunday, we'd all kind of just come hang out, get up and play or not, eat food, do whatever we wanted to do, and just kind of have a relaxed, cool place. And he wrote a beautiful song about it called Gypsy Cafe. I highly encourage you to listen to that song. But that's it, and we raised money to renovate it, and Katie's going to tell you about that.
Yeah, so if you had been to the Gypsy Cafe in the last couple of years, the holes in the roof were growing and we were afraid it was about to fall in. And so with the help of some very generous friends of the farm and of the scene here in Stillwater, Tina Nelson and Pat Medlock, Pam Stagner in honor of our dear Lonnie, and Elizabeth Bumgarner, all pitched in and made it possible for this to happen. And also with the help of a few craftspeople who were generous enough to lend their time and talent. And I have to talk about William DiLorenzo, who was actually the person who took this thing apart brick by brick. And with all the love, he met Bob actually in California. He played guitar for him, or drum.
No, he played guitar for him.
Yeah, he played guitar for him in California. They ended up in Stillwater together. He was so thrilled to be a part of the project that it was really crazy because right as it was finishing, he fell ill and passed away. So really, this was his swan song. And his spirit lives here with all of the spirits of the people who have played here.
Willie D.
Yes. And also with help from Dan Siebert, who's also a great supporter of the Red Dirt Relief Fund, and Jim Watson, with Stillwater Building Supply. So we're grateful to everyone for helping make this possible. And so at this 10th annual event, we decided we should dedicate it. And so we created this plaque that reads, "The Farm. We recognize the historical significance of this place as a sacred breeding ground for art, music, and love. It was here where the seeds of Red Dirt music were planted. Take part in its bounty, but remember to sow more than you reap. May the Gypsy Cafe forever be dedicated to all those restless spirits in the night." So, remember, if you come out here, take your trash.
She left the country with big city dreams running wild in her mind, looking for love or adventure or anything else she could find. But her small town pretty didn't play in the city too well, and the life that she thought would be heaven now feels more like hell. There's lots of sad stories, and this here's another, a big city dreams that got swept down the gutter. And he said, if you leave, don't you ever come back. She burned all the bridges she knew. So she wakes up and puts on her apron. What else can she do? She works 12-hour shifts pouring coffee for strangers. She walks home at night, well aware of the dangers, but too tired to care. She dreams of a life free of sadness or strife, or what it'd be like to be somebody's wife, and a table with no empty chairs. So she wakes up and fills up her own coffee cup and wonders if God hears her prayers. There's lots of sad stories, and this here's another, a big city dreams that got swept down the gutter. And he said, if you leave, don't you ever come back. She burned all the bridges she knew. So she wakes up and puts on her apron. What else can she do? She serves up the bacon, and the money she's making still won't pay the bills. And the city is busy and always in motion, but somehow for her time stands still. And she wonders if happiness lies in the country back home. And she'd like to go back, but she knows good and well that she won't. There's lots of sad stories, and this here's another. A big city dreams that got swept down the gutter. And he said, if you leave, don't you ever come back. She burned all the bridges she knew. So she wakes up and puts on her apron. What else can she do? So she wakes up and puts on her apron. What else can she do? Thank you very much. That's a brand new song called What Else Can She Do?
So, hey, everybody, how's it going out there? Oh, yeah, thank you very much. Well, I want to remind you that we do have these beautiful 10th anniversary Gypsy Cafe t-shirts that will be available everywhere from us at other places. So that's just a quick commercial from our sponsor. All right. Well, I am very pleased to introduce a good friend of mine who was on the Stillwater scene for a long time. I saw him first at the Stonewall Tavern. And he sang a song called Don't It Feel Good When You First Fall in Love that I just thought it was the best song ever. You do it all the time now, right? Anyway, this guy, he means a lot to this scene and to all of us. Welcome, Greg Jacobs.
Some kind of old saying about getting in out of the rain. Those of you that knew Bob, I'm sure will understand when I say this. Bob is loving this. Well, it's powder dust on a section line road like flowers spilt on the kitchen floor. It ain't rained since early spring. It's over 130 days or more. That little pond at the foot of the hill was drier than a July wind, and we loaded the cows and took them to town. Brought nothing, brought them home again. It was dry in 1930, dry in 36 too. I don't need a New Deal handout, a little rain will do. Well, my grandfather sat neath the shade of a post oak. He pulled out his watch and he looked at the sky. Wondered out loud, will it ever rain? I can't remember. It was this dry, then he looked at his wife and his dusty children, pondered the fate of a farming man. You make a crop and it ain't worth nothing. Next year, weather gets you again. It was dry in 1930 and dry in 36 too. I don't need a New Deal handout, a little rain will do. Well, he told me once that Herbert Hoover tried to starve them to death just because they were poor. They held on for the want of nothing. Nothing's all he ever had before, but he finally gave in and he swallowed his pride and made his mark for credit down at Irving West store. Cost him a penny a pound for his cotton. Next year, cost him 2 cents more. It was dry in 1930, dry in 36 too. I don't need a New Deal handout, a little rain will do. Well, he told me, son, you better tend to your business. Don't be drinking and acting a fool. Hell, I spent the best years of my life, boy, looking at the backside of a mule. And he told me once, you better get you some schooling. You can't make it by the sleight of hand, but remember where you were raised, son. Keep a tie to the land. It was dry in 1930, dry in 36 too. I don't need a New Deal handout, a little rain will do. Yes, it was dry in 1930, and dry in 36 too. I don't need a New Deal handout, a little rain will do.
If we all gathered up to play down by the river, and we all played the guitar and we played the same chords, and we all sang the same, and we all sang together, and we sang the same notes and we sang the same words, we'd sing and we'd play, hoping all would join us to sing like we sang and all sing along. We'd all try our best to make beautiful music. We'd all feel all right, but we'd all be so wrong. 'Cause not everybody can sing in our key. Some hear their bass line, some sing harmony, or the high mandolin, or the scream of a lead. Come beat the drum slowly for the song that we need. Sometimes it's sour, sometimes complete. Sometimes it's chaos and sometimes complete. But to jam with our nation, you have to be patient. Simply let a bad player just finish their lead. Our song is our country, the whole world is listening to hear if it's chaos or if it's harmony. We're writing it now for all generations. Let's make it worth hearing for those yet to be. If you paint in one color, you know there's nothing to see. If you're stuck in a rut, start by turning the key. It's just not a salad when it's just broccoli. So I'll listen to you if you'll listen to me. We'll all be much better when we all have our say and put an end to the madness at the end of the day. 'Cause we all have our rights, but we all have our wrongs. And if nobody's listening, will it still be a song? Our song is our country, the whole world is listening to hear if it's chaos or if it's harmony. We're writing it now for for all generations. Let's make it worth hearing for those yet to be. Let's make it worth hearing. We gotta make it worth hearing for those yet to be.
Here's to you, Rick. Anybody else that's gone by?
He worked hard for a living, maybe too hard it seems. He had a nature for giving, he had a natural dream to wake every morning and live every day without any warning. You know he liked it that way. Another drop of still water will make a ripple tonight. Another drop in that red Cimarron river that flows out of sight. Another drop in my memory for a friend here and gone. Another drop of that cool, still water in the red Cimarron.
You know the river runs shallow, trying not to go dry. And the river runs red, hard and muddy, but the river rolls by. It's filled with the people's sweat of their brow, the tears that they let fall away, make it somehow.
Another drop of still water will make a ripple tonight. Another drop in that red Cimarron river that flows out of sight. Another drop in my memory for a friend here and gone. Another drop of that cool, still water in the red Cimarron, in the red Cimarron. Another drop of that cool, still water in the red Cimarron.
Rainy days don't seem so.
What's happening, Gypsy Cafe? Yee! Katie, let me talk for a second, and I can't thank her enough for doing it because I got to do something really cool this last year. My name is Josh. I'm one of you. I'm part of this scene, and in last September I got to put out a book about it called Red Dirt, and I put it out the same way all of you put your albums out, independently, start to finish, and it's been a wild success. I could never, in my wildest dreams, have imagined that this many people would take such an interest in something I had written. And for at least a little bit, I get to feel like you guys. And being able to come out here to the farm, which is where this book starts, and to see all the people that are on the cover out here too, is beyond anything I ever could have imagined. So I want to first thank you for being a part of this book and for supporting it. And the other thing that I want to make really clear is that for everybody watching this stream, from the day it starts, it's May 12th. From May 12th through the 18th, anybody that goes to my own website, reddirtbook.com, and buys it, 100% of those proceeds will go to the Red Dirt Relief Fund. Yeah. So, I hope the people watching the stream heard that loud and clear. It's reddirtbook.com. You can also get it at Amazon or Barnes & Noble if you don't want your money going to the fund. But I like this idea better. And the very last thing I'm going to do is read the dedication to this book, because when this isn't all taking place, there's always going to be a copy out here at the farm too, but it seems kind of poignant. This book is dedicated to all those restless spirits in the night. Thank you guys so much. Let's hear some more music. Thanks, Katie.
Well, God bless the Midwest. I've seen your plain faces in every edition of your jailbird news. And I come south of Topeka to the other side of nowhere, seeking the man who wrote the Pawn Shop Blues. Yeah, the last time I seen him, it was down at the Palace on a left-handed 12-string. Yes, nine's what he'd had. He was singing just like some white boy angel. Had a T-shirt on, said world's okay, it's dad. And me, I come seeking Nicholas Knudsen. Even though he's a Yankee, he's kindred to me, and he's bound for the edge of the world as we know it. Out where a Hoosier can finally be free. Out where a Hoosier can finally be free. Well, the last ones to see him was Spinderella and the Straw Man. They took a flame to her slipper, but they were only chasing ghosts. He stole $23 worth of Turkish silvers. Yes, and I hear tell he never made it to the coast. He was acquitted on distribution up in Nebraska. A Chicago attorney in a 3-button suit. His tag read, "Who's your daddy?" on the men's room wall. Said if Omaha is heaven, then I'm bound for Duluth. And me, I come seeking Nicholas Knudsen. Speak of Bloomington girls and Parmenides the Greek. And he's bound for the edge of the world as we know it. Out where a Hoosier can finally be free. Out where a Hoosier can finally be free. Well, Nick, my friend, it was you that taught me the balance between the coming and the leaving. And the waitress in Ames said you ate half a pie. I bet you give her the line about the Garden of Eden. Well, the rubber met the road, I followed your skid marks. St. Cloud to Fargo, I give up the chase. You must have turned to a screech out somewhere out there. But I wish you were here so I could say this to your face. Well, brother, your mind's a runaway roller coaster where the man at the panel slumped over and died. And I wish I was there, yes, with a crease in my hair, help funnel cake fingers and a ticket to ride. And me, I come seeking Nicholas Knudsen. I hope wherever you are that you found what you need, and he's bound for the edge of the world as we know it. Out where a Hoosier can finally be free. Out where a Hoosier can finally be free. Out where a Hoosier can finally be free. Oh, all right, thank you very much. That's a ballad of Nicholas Knudsen.
Rainy days don't seem so wet. Stormy nights don't stay. From the moment that we met, you're worth the wait. Oh, this could be the best thing that I'll ever know. Talk for hours and never slept. Two silhouettes on the concrete steps. We watched the sun as it